attack again.
Thank you, David.
Manny Pacquiao, at 46 years old, is back in the headlines. The former 8-division world champion is training for a return to professional boxing against Mario Barrios, a younger active fighter with a title at stake. The buzz started when a short training clip surfaced online, showing Pacquiao moving fast, hitting hard, and displaying footwork that surprised many. Some fans are excited, others unsure, questioning if it's real or just hype. The clip spread quickly, showing Pacquiao hitting the mitts at full speed, looking sharp and focused. It's enough to make people wonder if he's truly back, or if this is his last shot at the spotlight. No one knows how the fight will play out, but one thing is certain. People are watching, and they're full of questions.
Trimmed with flames, as the boxing senator, he is fighting out of it, proudly representing the Serengeti.
Manny Pacquiao's return wasn't something many expected. After losing to Yordenis Ugas in 2021, he stepped away from the sport to focus on politics, running for president of the Philippines, and seemingly closing the door on professional boxing.
Impossible can happen if it is ordained by the Lord.
That chapter seemed closed, but now, at 46, he's getting ready to fight again.
Barrios is the WBC champion, so who is he mandated to fight next? Do you have made that decision yet?
Well, at this time, Mario Barrios is going to fight Manny Pacquiao in July.
This time, it's not just an exhibition. It's a WBC-sanctioned fight with a belt on the line against the younger, active Mario Barrios.
Well, he just
Oh, down to his knees
in pain.
Velasco.
Mario Barrios.
It's the kind of high-risk match that most retired champions avoid, but Pacquiao has always gone his own way. His exhibition fight in 2024 against DKU reminded fans of his footwork and speed, but the stakes were low.
Look at Barrios.
Again, the first one wasn't there, but the second one wasn't there either. But yeah, it would have been a different fight.
Yep, Thurman still with the...
Now the risks are real. If he wins, it's one of the biggest late-career comebacks in sports history. If he loses, critics will say he stayed too long. Barrios isn't just some prospect. He's a former world champion with a style that could be trouble. Pacquiao will have to deal with youth, height, reach, and pressure. Unlike exhibitions, there's no holding back here. This is full contact. Sanctioned boxing.
And a knockdown for Barrios!
Thank goodness! San Antonio, you have a new world champion!
Many believe he's taking too big of a risk, but for Pacquiao, it isn't about money. It's about ending his story the way he wants. The leaked training footage shows flashes of the old Manny. Quick combinations, fast feet, clean angles. It might not be enough, but it's clear he's not sleepwalking into this. He's training with real purpose. And that's why people are paying attention, not because they're sure he'll win, but because it's Manny Pacquiao. And when he steps into the ring, anything can happen. So, who is Mario Barrios? At 28 years old, Barrios isn't just another name on a fight poster. He's already a 2-time world champion with a record of 29 wins, 1 loss, and 1 draw. Most of those wins came by knockout. He's tall for a welterweight, aggressive, and confident.
You got the win. How do you feel about your performance?
I felt right about it. The eye, it made it hard to get my rhythm, to get my range down. But of course, I'm gonna stay in there.
Barrios started his career at 130 low Bs and moved up over time. He won his first world title at super lightweight and later fought Gervonta Davis in a high-profile bout.
Right hand to the body by Barrios.
We'll take a look here at the knockdown.
Although he lost that fight, Barrios showed heart and power. Since then, he's looked stronger both physically and mentally. In 2023, he beat Giovanni Santiago and Rahabati. His draw against Abel Ramos raised questions, but many still see him as a top contender. He fights tall, uses his jab well, and throws punches in bunches. He's not the best defensive fighter, but he's dangerous when he gains momentum. Barrios is also very active, something Pacquiao hasn't been in years. While Manny has been focused on politics and exhibitions, Barrios has been in the ring, sharpening his skills. That could be a big factor on fight night. Some fans believe Pacquiao's speed and experience will carry him through, but others see Barrios as too young, too fresh, and too busy. They think he might overwhelm Manny the way Ugas did, with timing, reach, and constant pressure. Barrios says he respects Pacquiao but won't hold back. This isn't a farewell tour. It's a real shot to take out a legend and add a big name to his resume.
What can you learn from that fight?
It showed that, combination punchers, that's how Pacquiao, was landing, his punches, combinations. And, it showed you that, he is a great fighter, but, I'm going into this camp, into this fight confident, everything right with our game plan. And I'm going to try to execute it as best as I.
If Pacquiao underestimates Barrios even for a round, it could be a long night. Manny Pacquiao's decision to return to professional boxing at 46 has sparked a heated debate in the boxing world. Some praise his comeback as proof of his lasting legacy, while others worry about the risks. Supporters see his return as the final chapter in a remarkable career spanning over 2 decades. They point to his win of the WBA welterweight title at 40, showing age hadn't weakened him. Fans argue that Pacquiao's experience, speed, and ring IQ still make him a serious threat to younger fighters like Mario Barrios. His dedication to training and desire to retire as a WBC champion, highlighted by his 2019 win over Keith Thurman, show his commitment to finishing his career on his own terms.
I'm not the kind of boxer of talkers. He's just promoting the fight. And then I think we did a lot of the things. He did his best, and I did my best.
On the other hand, critics question the wisdom of Pacquiao's return, citing his age and the physical demands of professional boxing. They point to his 2021 loss to Yordenis Ugas and his recent exhibition against Rukia Ano, where he struggled against a less experienced opponent. Promoter Ben Shalom has expressed concerns about the potential health risks, suggesting that Pacquiao should consider staying retired to protect his well-being. Some critics argue that granting a title shot to a retired fighter sets a troubling precedent and undermines the sport's meritocracy. Opinions in the boxing community remain split. Some analysts believe Pacquiao's experience and ring intelligence could give him an edge, while others say the physical demands may be too much at this stage of his life. The announcement of the Pacquiao-Barrios fight has sparked lively discussions on social media. Some fans are excited about the matchup, while others express concern. Comments range from admiration for Pacquiao's courage to worries about the risks of returning to top-level competition at his age. These polarized reactions reflect the broader debate in boxing. The fight's outcome could have major implications. A win for Pacquiao would cement his place among boxing's all-time greats and might encourage other retired fighters to attempt comebacks. Conversely, a loss could tarnish his legacy and raise questions about boxing organizations' responsibilities when sanctioning bouts involving older athletes. The WBC's approval of this fight has already triggered debate about how title shots should be awarded, balancing respect for legacy with fighter safety. Manny Pacquiao's return at 46 is more than a comeback. It's a high-stakes gamble that could redefine his legacy. After 4 years away, he faces Mario Barrios for the WBC welterweight title, a move that has stirred both excitement and concern. His age and time out of the ring are key factors. His last fight in 2021 was a loss to Yordenis Ugas, and his recent exhibition against Rukia Ano raised doubts about his current form. Critics warn that facing a younger, active champion like Barrios could harm his health and damage his storied career. But a victory would make Pacquiao a WBC welterweight champion once again, adding a remarkable chapter to his legacy. It would prove that experience and skill can overcome youth and might inspire other athletes to make comebacks. Moreover, it would fulfill Pacquiao's personal goal of retiring as a WBC champion, a title he first won at flyweight.
It was released, PBC, Manny Pacquiao first title was the flyweight WBC, and he wants to retire as WBC champion, so he's fighting in the welterweight division.
Mario Barrios, 29, is the reigning WBC welterweight champion with a record of 29 wins, 2 losses, and 1 draw. He has faced tough opponents like Gervonta Davis and Keith Thurman. His recent draw against Abel Ramos was a setback, but a win over Pacquiao would solidify his status and could lead to unification fights. For Pacquiao, a win would be a historic achievement, reinforcing his legacy as one of boxing's greatest. A loss, however, could tarnish his storied career. For Barrios, defeating a legend like Pacquiao would boost his profile and confirm his championship status. This fight has broader implications for the sport. It challenges ideas about age and athletic performance, and its outcome could affect how future comebacks are viewed and handled. It also raises questions about the responsibilities of boxing organizations when sanctioning fights involving older athletes. Pacquiao's upcoming bout is a defining moment, not just for him, but for boxing as a whole. It's a story of risk versus reward, legacy versus health, and experience versus youth. As the fight approaches, fans and critics alike will watch closely to see how this chapter unfolds. What if Pacquiao wins? What if he doesn't? Let's consider the possible outcomes and their implications. If Manny Pacquiao wins, it would be historic. At 46, capturing the WBC welterweight title would make him one of the oldest champions in boxing history. This victory would add a remarkable chapter to his legacy, proving that experience and skill can overcome youth.
Insane 10-punch combo.
Lay up. Goes to the flurry again. Lay up. Goes to the flurry again.
Pacquiao's victory would also fulfill his personal goal of retiring as a WBC champion, a title he first won at flyweight. This achievement would highlight his longevity and versatility across multiple weight classes. Moreover, it could inspire other athletes considering comebacks, showing that age doesn't necessarily block success in the ring. From a promotional perspective, a win could open doors to high-profile matches against other top contenders, potentially leading to lucrative fights fans would eagerly anticipate. It would also reaffirm Pacquiao's status as a global boxing icon, further cementing his place in sports history. Conversely, if Pacquiao were to lose, it could seriously impact his legacy. A defeat might signal that his time at the top is over, and continuing to fight could be seen as diminishing his remarkable career. Critics may say returning to the ring at his age was unwise, potentially overshadowing his past achievements. Health concerns would also be a major issue. Boxing is physically demanding, and taking damage at an advanced age could have lasting consequences.
As the brain hits the bone wall, sometimes doing so several times depending on the severity of the blow.
A loss might spark discussions about the responsibilities of boxing organizations in approving fights involving older athletes. Additionally, a defeat could affect Pacquiao's influence outside the ring. As a public figure and former senator, his decisions are closely watched. A loss might raise questions about his judgment and priorities, potentially impacting his reputation in other areas. What about Barrios? For Mario Barrios, beating a legend like Pacquiao would be a career-defining moment. It would confirm his status as WBC welterweight champion and raise his profile in the boxing world. Such a win could lead to unification bouts and bigger matches, boosting his earning potential and fan base. Defeating Pacquiao would also prove Barrios can handle pressure and perform on the big stage. It would highlight his skills and toughness, possibly attracting sponsorships and endorsements. Moreover, it would position him as a role model for younger fighters, showing the rewards of dedication and perseverance. If Barrios were to lose, especially to an older opponent like Pacquiao, questions might arise about his readiness to compete at the highest level. Critics could doubt his training and mental toughness. Such a loss might stall his momentum, requiring time to rebuild confidence and credibility. It could also hurt his marketability, as promoters and sponsors prefer fighters on an upward path. Losing to Pacquiao might make him less appealing for big fights, forcing him to prove resilience and improvement in future bouts to regain status. The upcoming Pacquiao-Barrios fight is more than just a match. It's a defining moment that could reshape both careers and impact the sport. For Pacquiao, it's a chance to end on a high note or risk damaging his legacy. For Barrios, it's an opportunity to cement his place or face setbacks that slow his progress. What's next for Pacquiao and Barrios? At 46, Pacquiao's return shows his passion for boxing, but his focus extends beyond the ring. He plans to run for a senatorial seat in the Philippines' 2025 elections, aligned with the Marcos administration's Promdi Party, a continuation of his public service after serving as senator from 2016 to 2022. Pacquiao will also be inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame in June 2025, honoring his achievements across 8 weight divisions and cementing his legacy as one of boxing's all-time greats. While Pacquiao hasn't confirmed future fights beyond Barrios, his advisor Shaw Gibbons hinted he might consider more bouts depending on his health and goals, though no official announcements have been made. Mario Barrios' future at 29, Barrios is at a crucial point in his career as the WBC welterweight champion. He has expressed interest in unification fights to strengthen his position in the division. Possible matchups include top contenders like Virgil Ortiz Jr., Cody Crowley, and unified welterweight champion Jaron Boots Ennis. Barrios' recent split draw against Abel Ramos showed his resilience and skill as he defends his title. He aims to boost his reputation and seize opportunities to rise further in the boxing world. As both fighters move forward, their paths diverge but remain influential in the sport. What do you think about Pacquiao's comeback and its effect on the welterweight division? Do you believe Barrios has solidified his place as a top-tier champion? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more in-depth boxing coverage.